I've got a huge deal in that. There is nobody who has a power to affect your life like the person you're going to marry. So that's what actually my wife will be dealing with right now. Are we ready there? Can we now start? Please, if you are on Facebook, just go to Ebenezer, share the broadcast. Let's have as many people who are viewing this as possible. Is that fine? Let's share, because there are so many people who need this information, who need to learn today. So, I heard Bariki Miss Maila. This is my wife. Her name is Matabi. So, our name is Maila. She'll be the one doing the session that she's doing. Yeah, and after, we'll be coming after that. Is that fine? And if you have a question, even those who are online, if you have a question, put it on the comments. They will be bringing it forth and we'll be engaging some of these things. But if some questions we can't answer them, we'll still answer them by writing, posting, whatever, because we still have to deliver more information for today. Are we fine? Are we feeling the spirit of readiness to go into the next level of our lives? Are we sure that all of us who are here, we believe in marriage? If you don't believe in marriage, you can go home. No, we are not here to convince you. Here are people who believe in marriage. We are not here to convince you that marriage is supposed. We are here with people who believe that I have to get married. And I believe that marriage is the future. So let us continue. Now, we are starting the first session. We are starting the first session, right? Clap hands for Matabi. So Maila, who's my wife, she'll be doing the first session. Yes, you may proceed.
Thank you very much. As I said, okay, I'm going to go back now. There's no one who is single. There's unmarried and married. All of us who are here today, we are not single. We are unmarried or married. What must you do when you are unmarried? That's the first question. What must you work on when you are unmarried? Unmarried time, you need to build your healthy self-concept. You need to work on your feelings, your self-esteem, personal mastery, and inner management. You need to understand yourself before you can understand the next person. There's no way that you can understand the next person without understanding yourself. So you need to find yourself, what you like, what you hate, and all that, before you can go into the next level. On which mood am I in? How do I behave when I'm faced with this thing? So that when you get married, you can know, now I understand myself, now I need to go to the next level, where now I need to understand this person. That's the first one. And then the second one, unmarried time is a space for personal investment. You need to work on your craft. There's a saying, marriage takes the best out of you. That's a lie. That's a lie. It cannot take what is not in you. Marriage cannot take out what is not in you. So what you bring to marriage. You don't take out from marriage. You bring to marriage. So what you bring to marriage is something that you and your partner will work on. So there's no way that marriage can take out what is not in you. Marriage will take out what is in you. So you work on your craft, you study for your profession, you establish career, you study your life path, and you grow your interest. It's very difficult to study when you are married, because you have to, there's a husband, there's a wife, there's kids, there's a household that you need to take care of. There's a profession as well. Where are you going to get time for yourself to study? So studying while you are married is very difficult. I know that I've tried. I went back, forth, back, but it's very difficult. It's not easy. Unmarried time is a spiritual journey. You need to work on your spirituality before you get married. Because marriage is spiritual. Marriage is spiritual. So you need to work on your spiritual journey. Understand where you are spiritually before you can get married. So you need to grow spiritually before you can get married. Once you are a baby on spiritual things, sit back, before you can be able to go and say, I'm getting married. Because some of the challenges that you're going to meet in marriage, they don't need bohlale ba gago. they need spirituality. Unmarried time is a moment to develop your character. You need to build your character while you are still unmarried. Because there's no way that you can build your character when you are married. Ha go kgonagala. So when you are unmarried, you need to start building your character. You build your attributes and habits. You develop qualities that make you a great person. Marriage doesn't take, as I said, marriage doesn't take out what you don't have. It takes out what you have. It godisa whatever that you have, it like godisa marriage. But else a marriage will not take it out. Okay, I'm gonna go back to choosing your spouse carefully. The 11 titles that your partner will carry in your life. Yo. Guys, your partner is the extension of yourself. So when you choose, you need to be very careful who choose a man. Because number one, I'm going to start with number one. It's your immediate influence, your partner. Your immediate influence. Your partner will be a person you share your ideas with. You will exchange philosophies, ideologies, and principles, even how you view things in life. So you need to choose that person that I see this person, we can go further together. So if I choose a motho e leng gore they cannot say anything le wena, then you are in trouble. So you
Oscar choose a style, like our the philosophy of
so you need to choose someone. That's why I'm saying it's gonna take out the best in you. So you need to choose that person. Number two, your life companion. Your partner will be a person whom will you decay together, moving from healthy body to sickly nights and mornings, who will know what is your life and hopes, your confidence and insecurities about life. So your partner will know everything about you, everything. So that's your life companion. So if you choose a motho e leng gore okay we see dilo ka wena, then the next thing abatsama use it also against you. That's not a life companion. So it's not. So you don't need that kind of a person in your life. If you na le eno ntseng yalo, Sanda, what's up? No. O molela gore it will not work. The third one, your best friend. You must marry your best friend. Your partner will be a person you will turn to in times of joy, in times of pain. A person who knows how to irritate or entertain you. A person who knows how to take the best or the worst out of you. So if ever you did not marry your best friend, then those things will not matter to that person, because I can ask you how. Before you can marry somebody, it must be your best friend. She must know, he or she must know when you are in pain, when you have joy. So that person must know. So if you're not married to your best friend, then
Actually, let me explain this in this way. Do you know, like me and my wife are married, right? Do you know if I want her to be angry right now, I don't need to work hard. I know what to do. Right now, even her, when she wants to make me angry right now, she know what she can do just to freak me out of this place. So now, the person you are married to will be your best friend, and can be even your worst friend. I don't know if it makes sense. So then you need to choose somebody who's willing to be a best friend than a worst friend. I mean, your partner can just mess up your day like this, or even mess up a meeting where you're going to negotiate the best deals of your life, just by one wedding. That's all. Let's continue.
Your partner will be your extended representative. Your partner will represent you in your absence. Their words will be your words. Their actions will be your action. How they treat people, it will be how to see you. How people see you. I'm going to make an example. You guys remember, when was it, 2021, Tawaya grade 12. You remember it? It affected me so bad. And now I was at home at that time. It affected me so bad, where I was insulted in social media. I was so insulted. I was not there at that moment. I knew, I did not expect Ariel, but
Ube strong ho nyala motho.
Phew, but it affected me so bad. They insulted me in social media. They were telling me, I wonder how are you guys raising the kids and all that. No, I did not say anything. I was at home at that moment. You know, even my family members, some of my family members, they attack me as well. So that's why when you marry someone, the action sahara, everything that he does is gonna come to you at one point. So you must try to understand who are you getting married to. And how they treat people, it will be how they see you. If he treats people bad, it will reflect on me. No, that's the messages that I was receiving in my messenger on Facebook. No, they don't know how to speak to people. Like those are the things that I was receiving on Facebook. And I wanted to quit Facebook, and he said to me, don't.
Wrong, but not that I'm justifying myself. You see, what I'm saying is this. In essence, what we are saying here is this. In essence, the person you are married to, when you are not there, they are there, you are there. If when o auswa morapedi wa mzalwane ne o ba fa le phondo apara your dress o tla grekeng, but nna ke tahilwe ke kukuwa ka wheelbarrow, trust me, le wena mo wheelbarrow le nna. I don't know if I make sense about that. If when o brother o man of God nna ke stripper, o ska wara le wena o stripper. So because your partner, you said is a what there, is your extension. You know, I remember that time my wife was at the mall. I was not there. Somebody from Mafikeng, one of the guys in our movement, met my wife and said, I know when you are here, your husband is around. And immediately right there, he demanded me, and I was nowhere. Because when they see your partner, they see you. So the person you are choosing, if they don't like to bath, you don't like to bath too. If they don't dress well, you don't dress well too. So you get what I'm saying? That's exactly what it is. It's a deal.
Your partner will be your next of kin. Will be the person who will bear witness to you legally and speak on your behalf. That will be a person who will bequeath your estate upon your death and leave witness your death. If you can't speak, your partner will speak on your behalf. If there's documentation between life and death that need to be signed, it will be signed by your partner. So you need to make sure you choose the right person. And your estate as well. Like when you pass away, your estate, it will be bequeathed to her. Why? Because to her or him. It's because of marriage. So marriage is binding you. Unless you married out of community of property. But when you married in community of property, it's obvious. So your estate will be bequeathed to him or her.
I already see a question, must I marry in community, out of community, anti-nuptial? We'll deal with that some other time. But now, let's tell the honest truth. The person you are married to has the legal power to represent you anywhere. If I go to take a loan and spend it, go sunny side, not bring it home, it's also on her name. To even an extent that if I've got kids out of marriage, I can't support them. They can go sue her to support my kids. And then, people just marry. I just want a man, or I just want a woman. It's not just that. The person you are marrying, trust me, when we call them your next of kin, when they want you, they will look for them, and when they find them, they will find you. Does it make sense?
Your partner will be your associate advisor. It will be a person who will be there to advise on what to choose. Your decisions in life will be influenced by your partner. Many things you do will be determined by your partner. Your decisions in life will be influenced by your partner. It's not a thing or do this, but he will influence you to do whatever that you're doing. Not a thing no, you need to go this way, but automatically his influence, it will be this way, and you'll end up going that way. It's how influential your partner will be in your life. It will be your primary consultant. Your partner will be a person who will be forced to talk to or brief before you seal any deal or conclude any issue. That will be a person who will give you a go ahead or stop matters in your life. Where you cannot seal any deal without going. It's not your business partner. Your partner is not your business partner at that moment. But before you can sign anything, it's once if a guy, call your partner. So as he said, if you onyetse motho wa stlaela, o tlo go dirisa di deals tsa bo stlaela. So if you onyetse motho wa botlhale, you know the deals that I'm gonna get to, ke di deals tse e leng gore di right.
In essence, let me say this. Have you realized something in life? Check all powerful men. All powerful men. You check your Barack Obama. Check Michelle. You check Steve Harvey recently. He has become more powerful. Look at Majori. You look at Patrice Motsepe has multiplied his money. You look at the wife he's with now. There is no man or there is no one who cannot grow their partner. I know a certain girl. I always tease my wife, Cayenne. She used to work in the institution that my wife works for. Now she's in Hammanskraal doing nyaupe. I think you know her, a very dark-in complexion girl. You see her there, she does nyaupe. And I say, your former colleague. And yes, she was working for the institution. But because he met a guy who does nyaupe, eventually did what? Joined the clique. Trust me, the influence that your partner has on you, it cannot be, you can't orbit it. You get what I'm saying? You can't orbit it. It's exactly what it is. I know many people who were doing well before they got married. After to get married, they began to drop in success, in achieving. Why? Because of the people they are married to. Especially with the pastors, it's so interesting. You find the church is growing. He's a single man, is growing, doing so well in the ministry. When he gets married, it drops down. It's nothing much. It's a sequence of how things go because of what the influence of the partner also. You get that? So the person you are marrying to is not just another person. All we're trying to say is that you need to be careful because this is not just another person. This is a person who's holding your soul in their hands.
Your partner will be your business partner. Your partner will be actually do business despite other parties. That's why I said earlier, it's not a thing, it's part of the deal, part of the business that you'll be in. But she or he will have more influence on your thinking, on your decisions. Because your business decisions and choices will be regulated by the pillow talk.
Actually, baby, marriage is a business, Ankir. Yeah, marriage is a business. Every marriage can be audited. Yeah, every marriage has got a value. Anger, we've got a house, it has got a value. Cars have got a value. Clothes we wear, they've got a value. The schools we take our kids to, they've got a value. Everything. So the person you are marrying to, you are doing business. So if the person you are marrying to, they are not good in decision making, eventually you'll go down. You'll find yourself making decisions that decline your family financially, socially, and everything. Like I just heard Kanye West say, since I divorced whoever Kardashian, she's no longer dressing well. Yeah, Kanye was influencing the fashion. Whoever you're married to influences everything about you. Do I make sense about? Does it make sense about that? Do we sound good on that? Now, trust me, people, I'll tell you, I blow money. Myself, I blow money. Give me $1 million, I can spend it in a day like this. But once I got married to my wife, things like your interests, your repo rate, all these things, I started understanding them. I didn't even know what is the meaning of a sale. I didn't even care about it. I want it, I buy it. It's me, Mus, it's mine. I'm paying myself. But my wife entered my life and taught me all these things, their dynamics. When do you pay installment? What is the right time of all this stuff? And I saw it giving me financial liberation and freedom in some sort. Trust me, the person you are marrying to will definitely influence where your life ends. Watch Kumbulia Kaya, for example. Let's continue.
Your partner will be your bed mate. Your partner will be a person you will sleep next to for many nights of your life. You will spend hours and hours together, consciously and
Eba yizi vile ba e rata.
subconsciously. You will be exposed to them at all hours of your lives. So that's a bed mate. So you will see gore o robala yang, you will see ha robetse o yang o kgona yang. You
My
will-
sister, you'll sleep next to a gorilla for the rest of your life, eh? Huh? Be careful, eh? Huh? You'll sleep. I'm telling you, my brother, you'll sleep next to that person. You'll wake up 12 midnight. You know, somebody said, one poet said, how do you know that you are in love? Or when you wake up in the middle of the night and you still look at this person looking so ugly and like, but I love you. No, trust me, the person you are married to will be there. One tell one, it will be there. 12 midnight unconscious. Will be there. And you can never escape that. So are you sure that this is the person you want to spend your nights with? Eh? I remember this girl saying to me, why are you divorcing? I don't know no one tena. La ja o ka ro tlhafunya nna. So ke re ha robetse hona. Now ha snora robetse, I'll just unconscious. How about that? So these are the realities of marriage. Trust me. These are, you see, some of you see my beard's combed. My wife knows me uncombed. You understand what I'm saying? Believe you me, she will not be in makeup forever. She will take off the weave. Huh? So are you sure that this is the person you want to be with? Now, okay, before you go choosing a right partner, you
know, my grandmother used to say, when you choose someone, you need to choose someone. O sa re senyetsa ditlogolo. So choose someone o e leng gore ga o mo lebella le wena, o bo lebella gore eish, mare mo at least ke
o lebelle bo di-cousin cousin o le cousin o bone o rama mo o ka re ke tla tlisa ditlolo tse di sa nnang pila.
So you need to choose right.
Actually, baby, remember that Japanese article? This business guy who sued his wife, saying the wife did the facial what, and he gave him an ugly kids. So he's suing. If she could have not done that, he could have not married to her. Now the kids need the makeup, must pay for the facial what, because he doesn't need this. No, I'm telling, this is a reality. Because you know, you walk in a mall, you see a beautiful girl, a beautiful lady walking with some ugly kids. You must look for the husband now. And you will see that I know I'm afraid to Kawatile choice. But let's move on. Let's move on.
Your partner will be your sex partner. It will be a person you will be having sex with all your life. That will be a person you will be intimate with sexuality and physically. Your partner is the person who will be a person whom you will be naked together.
In essence, don't marry somebody you don't like their skin texture. Because that's the skin you'll be with. Before we go into choosing a right partner and every stuff, don't. If you rata my yellow bone, choose a yellow bone. If you rata the dark whatever, or choose whatever you want. Because exactly that you choose is what you must appreciate. And then trust me, you cannot omit sexual feelings in marriage. Because most of people will go and marry a slender, whereas he knows that himself, he likes a chubby lady.
And you start cheating.
Actually, baby, no go next level. In essence, it's not part of the notes. It's just me, Jay. I'm being generous. Every man has got the naked body of a woman in his mind. Every man. If the naked body in your mind as a man is a woman who's bright in complexion, who's curvaceous, go for that woman.
Is it Kimaka?
No, it's the truth, right?
Okay.
Yeah, now, most of the guys will go marry somebody of a different image of beauty in their mind. And then after that, go cheat You understand what I'm saying? Yeah, now, you need to go for exactly what you define as a woman in your mind, as a beauty in your mind. Does it make sense?
And Lorona ladies, like Nna, now will not go for a light skinned guy. I'm light skinned already. So that's why I went for a dark person. So if I could have went for a dark skin, obviously I will cheat for a light skinned. I will cheat with a dark skin.
Wena no nyaka Mozambique we mos.
It's-
Babotse.
So is the truth. Therefore, if only this person, oh, you've got why what do you want? What kind of a man do you want? It's in your mind. So go for what you have in mind, so that you can stop this thing cheater. Because if you don't go what you have in mind, you're gonna cheat the right person that was in your mind.
Actually, do you know already? Like when I look at all my kids, I can tell you what is their definition. Like I can tell you what is the definition of me, this handsome man. Already, she's 3 years old, but already you can tell her, oh, her a handsome man. This is what she mean. And then you can tell even with my son, I can tell you what when he says a beautiful lady, what does he mean, this one? And can I tell you the honest truth? Never cheat on your feelings. So bail out before it's too late. Because you'll get a life sentence when you get into marriage. And bail out of marriage, coming out of marriage, it needs a parole. The president must approve it. Sometimes you can even lose your house, your cars, your everything. Just to come out of marriage. So you better be sure when you marry that is the person I want. Wabon? Can we go to the next session on the question, Nyana? Can we go just jump to the next session? We'll have questions after the next session. Ne? This was just an ice breaking. Are we fine on that? You got all the 11 titles of what your partner will be, ne? So if you have someone, you can check and say, Mara, is this the person I can really do business lifetime with? Come again? Oh, there are some that were jumped. But let's do this. Which one do you have there?
Best friend is there. Extended representative, next of kin, associate advisor, primary consultant. Oh, your proxy signatory. Your partner will be having power on paper to represent you. The person who will administer your asset and have power equal to yours in terms of decision making. But we spoke about that. But it's just that we spoke about it on the other one. Yes. Your bedmate, your sex partner. So D10, no.
It's fine. You'll get another one in the nearer future. Let's move. Don't move.
Doesn't move. So you will take.
Yeah, I'll take this. Are you still good, guys? Yeah, thanks for coming, man. Hey, it was important that you be here. I want us to talk about, I'm going to do the session of choosing the right partner. This is very important. It's a question actually, for me not to miss it, let me just do the full one here. Ne? Yeah, please. And this is very interactive. Ne? This is very interactive. I'm a very interactive person personally. I'm not taking personal. If you are talking from there, we can exchange, but as long as it's not going to be a long dialogue. Now, choosing a right partner for a healthy marriage. Let me tell you this. It's very impossible to have a healthy marriage if you have chosen a wrong partner. It's very impossible. It's like you are fixing a car. You are fixing a car, you get a wrong partner. You want to put it there. Ba botsa tsa monyaka clash kit ya Toyota Corolla when o taka clash kit ya A3, will it fit in? I know that's an example that is way above you, my sister. You'll not get it maybe. Let's say you're supposed to pour a sugar, but you pour in salt. Will the taste be the same? So that's the same thing. So the person you are choosing in marriage will determine how the whole thing goes. You get that? You get that, right? Now, the Bible says in the book of Proverbs 18, verse 22, this is just for breaking that level so that we can be able to move into something. It says, he who finds a wife, finds what is good and receives favor from the Lord. All right? He who finds a wife. It doesn't say he who finds a fiancé, a wife. Meaning that the person you find must be ready to be a wife. A wife is not made by a process. A wife is already prepared by the systems. By the time you meet her, it's a delivery. It's like a cake. Is it a cake when it arrives at home, or it's a cake in the shop still? So it means that the woman you are choosing must have been meeting everything that you call a wife. You must not be working on this and that. I always tell men, I say, our government, they are improve the life it's about. Kereke mo ise sekolong o nefsas wena. Kereke mo rute 1 2 3 o daycare wena o kindergarten. She must be ready. Even the husband must be ready. In essence, that's how it is. That's what it must be. So now, how does one choose a wife or a husband or a partner? How does one do that? This is a very bold lesson, probably. Please, if you're on Facebook, go to Ebenezer Bible Church or go to Mwafrika Maila. You'll get the broadcast. Just share it. How does one choose a partner? Okay, first of all, let's do this. Before we get into the technique or the whole idea behind, you must know what you want. I don't care your age. You know, sometimes ladies, when they reach a certain age, they compromise too much. Noma yini. Yonke insipho iyawasha. So now, you must know what you want. As a lady, you must know what you want. As a guy, you must know what you want. So if you don't know what you want, you are running at the risk of finding anything in the shelf and calling it a husband or a wife. You get what I'm saying? So you must know what you want. Now, I want to give you this. Not that life is like that, but you must have it at the back of your mind. Draw for me 3 columns. On your notes, those who are writing. Draw for me just 3 columns. Number 1, I want us to, when you choose a partner, there is what we call primary attributes. Let me give you this. Let me tell you this. The reason we say there is no one who is single is because of all of you who are here. There are 3, 4 guys who are talking to you. Am I lying? All of you guys, there are 2, 3 ladies you are looking at. Oh, Gary. Oh. Now, in order for you to know how to select and get the best out of the rest, have 3 columns. First column is what we call primary attributes. These are what we call non-negotiable. These are the qualities and attributes that you cannot compromise and negotiate when you need a person. If you don't have these, you are out. I'll give example. If you want to study at university, there is a university entry on the matric. If you don't have that, you are out. We don't talk to you. We can talk firstly with university entry. Before the course you want, we look at the score. You don't qualify for law, you can qualify for journalism or social work. Now, that's how it is in marriage. Primary attributes. What is it that you cannot compromise or negotiate? Langudwa mara. Okay, here is Matabiso. Ramita, Shapu, Otama Vigeng, Getwa Haman Skrala, Shomfit, King, I sharp. Eman Ubila, Siman Ubila, ya. What is the first thing that I'm looking at to say, Bona? If this woman doesn't reach this level, she's out. That's how it is. You need to have the entry standard, non-negotiable. If a man does not have 1, 2, 3, it's out. If a lady doesn't have 1, 2, 3, or 4, then it's out. Does it make sense? Because majority of the people, they don't have primary attributes they are looking for. Actually, if you can ask many ladies who are married, or what did you choose in this man?
Neke morata.
Hey, neke morata, why is it king? Neke motwa, why is it king?
Fila.
Yeah, no, honestly speaking, there got to be more than just neke morata. What is it that you don't negotiate when you are looking for a partner? Ya ka bona tlhalonyo di tswile byanong ka mo building go rwa itse di tletse le naha di tletse. Now, I get that's the first column. The first column is what? Is primary attributes, the non-negotiable. Have them. When you sit down in a restaurant and you are talking to a person, you are looking at this non-negotiable. Once he has them, we can come and meet again. Once he doesn't have them, ay papa, o ka nna wa ya kwa ke tla ya kwa. Re ka se kgonagale nna le wena. What did you say? Right. Number 2, what I call secondary attributes. Negotiable. Remember, the first primary ones are non-negotiable. You must have the entry point, non-negotiable. Secondly, in the second column, we talk about what? Secondary attributes, non-negotiable. These are qualities and attributes that you can compromise or negotiate when you need a person. Let's say we say a guy primarily must be intelligent. I'm just giving an example. Must be patient. And must be what? Ladies, come on, help me. What can he be? Whatever that is. Primarily, that's what he must be. Then on the secondary, we say, yeah, he must be having probably doing well in his profession. And then you get a guy who's just a graduate. He's not doing well in the profession. He's looking for a job. He can still get a job. In 2 years, he will be doing well. He might not be having a car now, but he will get a car. He might not be having money now, but he will get money as he goes. You understand? Actually, your presence must also help him to be success. And also, secondary are qualities and attributes that you can compromise and negotiate when you need a person. Does it make sense? We can negotiate on this. These are negotiable. These are things that I can work on as long as you've got the primary ones. Langudwane? Okay, let me tell you the reality of life. When I was choosing my wife, there were other 2 ladies who were competing with her. Yeah, beautiful as her. Born the same year. Probably another one was born in March. Another one was born in June. She was born in November. Now I was gauging. No, there is nothing wrong. Now I was weighing my options. Yeah, go theater, play. And go the same play. I'm gonna come back for it. And here, can you engage me? There is nothing wrong in that. In essence, let me demystify this thing before I go far. I don't understand people who judge those who are not married or bachencha the partner. What else will they do? What's the purpose of a fitting room? I'm not saying go around changing. I am saying you need to be sure. Once we see you in public with a person, you must be sure that this is the person. Have they passed the primary test? I sit with them once and they come with their partner. I'm like, break up. You guys be reiki. For when? I know you, man. This cannot be yours. So now, primary, secondary is negotiable. Then we have what we call tertiary, additional. Wabon? These are qualities and attributes that are luxury when you need a person. Wabo? I mean, we can have examples. What can be primary? With me, Keran Nagel Mo Africa. Common spirituality. It was important to me. Is she praying the God that I pray to? How I wouldn't be with the Sangoma? Na? How are Nagim Zalwani? Na I pray in tongues. I Rabashanda Korohosa. I kokoska bigundu kukuta. I go at night. So now I had to really be sure that common spirituality. So gize ke mushayela ga re mfethu wena o ruhira halang. Ara no wa bona church wise mfethu. Ke motho wa ka mo bo Christ embassy ka mo. Kara no a Chris right. Ai Pastor Chris a bete. O bala rhapsody na are ya. Kare ke mo re a ka utlwa no spirituality re mo leveleng 1. Let me tell you this. If you take somebody who's not on the common spirituality with you, you are dead before you start. I don't care. I don't care. I've got to stand up for this. You've got to have the same bedrock spiritually. If lelebadi sangoma, ibambadi sangoma. If leleba moria, ibamba moria. Karta beska leba ubita sera mo. Mosadio ke sera. Sera saka sintibeletsi. Now, that was my primary, number 1, common spirituality, number 2, physical attraction. And now my physical attraction meant that my woman must be really yellow, very bright than me. No, I wouldn't for it. I mean, already, Safara. Why should I endanger myself? Number 3, compatible character. Number 1, I know that I'm this guy, Wabon. So I'm this guy. I'm loud. I'm radical. I'm aggressive. You know, I make things happen. So I needed somebody who will sit there and watch me and say, hey, not this route, this route. I needed a compatible character. That was primarily. So if I talk to you and I'm like, we're not I can tell us Navy. I already we're a doggy bag or ofeta hojamo. Nagita ira doggy bag. Ipadi ile somar. If ever, I mean, obviously, why will I even be out with somebody whom in this day of social media? Already I know. I'm going to get one of the pictures. You okay? Yeah, no. You understand what I'm saying? Compatible character will test it as we talk. You understand what I'm saying? Then, what was my secondary attributes? I'm talking about me. Educational qualification. I'm sorry. Kerana. Do you know how many books do I read in a year? Actually, some of you, if you can come to me and my wife arguing, you'll think that we are in a lecture room. I remember when we wanted to buy a car, she was supporting the Range Rover, I was supporting what? Toyota. Everyone shared the points. I research, I'm sadiola mona, the point is engine, market Toyota. So I had to go with her. I need somebody who's smart. I need somebody of personal maturity. It was important, number 2 for me. Number 3, I wanted somebody with the social skills who will be able to interact with people. I mean, I'm a public figure, man. I'm always in faces of people. Imagine I know can tell them, oh. Now I'm just giving example. I'm just saying. Please don't take me too personal, ne? But anyway, if you are personal, I don't apologize. Number 4, I needed a supportive person. Do you understand where I'm going? This is where I am. This is where I'm going. Especially guys who have got big dreams. Like pastors are big dreamers. I mean, you want to have a big church. You need a wife who will be able to support that. If Moto cannot be able to take a hold of your dreams, then why not? I mean, I'm attempting big things all the time. I needed somebody who will have a heart for that. Right now, as I'm speaking to you, I'm traveling the country. I needed a wife who will be able to understand that. So now, that's what I wanted for me. And also, secondary for me was family background. What kind of family are you coming from? I wanna say saying too much. Because number 1, I'm from a very messed up family background. myself. My father is alone at home. My mother and my father divorced when I was young. I wanted somebody from a more supportive background and so on. And my wife comes from that family. And that's what I wanted for me. At least if my kids' father's side is broken, let their mother's side be solid. My kids can visit my side. It's not there. But they can visit my wife's side. At least that is good. It's better than nothing. Number 2, the friend circle. I wanted to check what friends does she keep. Honestly speaking, I wouldn't be with somebody who doesn't have well-thinking friends. I don't know how will you take this, whether they will sue me or not sue me. But I told her that, do you have any gay friends? I don't know. You can be my wife when. Don't need a gay in my house. I don't confuse abafana baka. Darling, is this your man? Look at his shoes. Another man judging me as if he's a woman. I don't have a problem with gays when they are there. Not here. It's a democratic country. Be a gay there, not here. So if she was bringing a gay here, I was going to tell her, you choose a gay or me. Wow. So not that was my standard. And I asked her these things. Number 3, personal ambitions. What ambitions do you have? Do you know that you marry somebody who doesn't have ambitions, eventually they kill your ambitions? Unyako ipono nako kai. Awona ngana mo Ramotse. Yo. Ufedile mfanaka. Amara hai le Ramotse bona Mandela na discontirinyana ko Mandela. Mfana, you'll achieve Mandela within 2 years and you are done. Wabon? So now if somebody tells you about, have you seen Serengeti? Or Tatlouf? Savannah Hills. You're like, Wabona, now we're going to work hard here. Yeah, same level. What is your dream car? You know, why wanna Uno? Teze, yo Teze, yo Nentirelantung, why now yo? I want to Okka, I want to Fort car. I want already right there. Your dreams are killed before they start to fly. So for me, that was important. Now, let me tell you, especially you as a man, you've got to be more clearer than a woman because you are the hunter. You must check which one is the fittest in the forest. Anyway, ntwana tse bae ke ntwana tsaka ke na lo ba utla ba tla ba la ke kreile motho ke ra ya o so kre ba fana tamo search hape tamo go and dig again wa bona o tla bua ke tla o botsa o mo trekeng na. Because in honest sense, some people should not be with some people in life. And let's also break this thing. Please, there is nothing called a soulmate in life. Why thing? No, there is nothing called a soulmate. It's not there. It's just not there. Demystify the myth. If I can die right now, my wife can still meet somebody who is compatible with her and move on with life. In essence, psychology says one individual has got 10,000 compatible people on planet Earth. I mean, what is this things of soulmate? South Africa, South Africa. What if soulmate are go Ghana? Go Ghana or Nigeria? What if you have no opportunity of meeting somebody from anywhere else? Just here. So you see that this thing is just a matter of location and whatever we cross path and so on. Out of people you meet, there will be those who are good for you. You just need to know what's good for you. Does it make sense? So literally, the WhatsApp says that you are my soulmate. Ne? After all, this phrase, your soulmate, it came by a poet. It was just a joke in 1818, a letter. We are compatible, we love each other, let's grow together, let's build a marriage. Labon? So if you say you are a soulmate, if I say Matabis is my soulmate, I die, does that mean that now she can't meet somebody else? That's why you commit suicide, because let's get is soulmate. Does it make sense? Lord, now what is a soulmate? It's not even in a dictionary. Yeah? Soul plus mate. It's not there. So now, let's talk about this. Wrong things that are usually made in choosing partners. Let's talk about the wrong things that are usually made in choosing partners. Number 1, marriage will grow some qualities in the person. I think my wife spoke about that, right? Hore no, why is king? Yana ka mona shemwais. O tletse na hamara henga mnyala o tlo nna.
Tla mo tamer.
Yeah, Bob the Builder is a principle of John C. Maxwell, ne? Don't be Bob the Builder, ne? Don't even think that when you marry a person, my wife said something here, our marriage works on what you already bring in. On the table. You can never, marriage will never bring in a new thing. Yeah, it will create experiences or anything. But what you have in you, that's exactly what marriage will work on. So marriages doesn't grow any quality. Does it make sense? You know, let me tell you what developed my passion on marriage and marriage talks and things was when I was serving my articles in University of Pretoria Law Clinic, very government lawyer. Just here, we were there. I think they're somewhere, I don't know, but we were there. Then Hamanska ladies will come, Barkinyaka free divorce. And we'll do free divorce, as they called it. And there is nothing called free divorce on earth. I remember in 2 years, when I was serving my articles, I did 363 consultation of people who wanted divorces. 250 ended in court with a decree. Some I left pending when I was pursuing my profession further. And I realized one thing. Those who are sober, who come for divorce, I'm like, but you are a teacher, you are smart. Why did you marry somebody? I thought that's Nwanyala, Otlava more responsible. And can I tell you this? The way the person is, that's how they will be even in marriage.
They will even be worse.
Yeah, because marriage is a magnifier, love. If you are lazy, you can talk.
They will even be worse because marriage can magnify. So in whatever that you have, I gotta get two people coming together. So get two ideas coming together. Now you are no longer alone. It's two of you. So it's gonna magnify that. It's gonna grow that. So if you are lazy, then you're gonna be more lazy.
Yeah, like if Laura alole, kolinyalong uto nasa alole worse. If arato thapa, kolinyalong uto nasa thape worse. The banal encouragement. Yeah. Now, number 2, wrong thing that people make when they choose is that marriage will change the behavior of the person. Can I tell you this? An arrogant person out of marriage will be an arrogant person in marriage. An impatient person out of marriage will be impatient in marriage. So there is no behavior that will be changed. If Anale who disappear, Rasa phonele, Bushubo bote. Our phone battery, the battery was off, what happened? You know me, I have problems, my cousin, even when you are married, that's what you will sit on. He will not sleep home. He will come back in the morning and show you picture of a tire.
From Google.
Yeah?
From Google.
Yeah, we'll Google and come with it. Or send it to someone and say, can you put this Photoshop it on my car. And he had the tire best. That's who they are. So marriage does not change any behavior. Actually, don't invest in saying a person you are choosing, marriage will change them. Marriage does not change anything. Number 3, marriage will teach them how to do things. Marriage does not teach anyone anything. There are people who divorce 10 times in one lifetime. First partner, no remarriage. First partner, second partner, third. What have they learned? Nothing. So do not think that marriage teaches people anything. If somebody comes squandering money, don't think that in marriage they will not squander money. Different colors. Because that is the person. So don't think that marriage is a school. It teaches people anything. Who they are, that's who they are. Lenda no go here. Heavens again. So now, understand something. What people are out of marriage, that's what they are in marriage. I wrote something here. Signposts of character. The early signs are the true signs. Hey. Early signs are the true signs. Early signs are the true signs. I told some of my friends, I said, "Hey man, I'm sorry how I tell." Ara when I meet, gara ask how tell them. Has no nyala re nselo wa bolela wa itse. Early signs are true signs. Trust me, when a person gives you early signs, believe those signs. When they come with early signs, take them. If I go wena ke tla o bolaya ka o yepela. Chaba. Balega ngenyawo zombili. He will kill you and bury you. Early signs are true signs when you choose a person. You know, I sometimes hear people, but he is changed. What changes again? Do you have outer space of human beings? Is there anywhere they do heart transplant? Can we buy a new soul? There is scripture that says, can Ethiopian change his skin? What they are is who they are. There are some of these boys I'm talking to, I already see their future marriage problems. Oh, we'll deal with 1, 2, 3. So now, early signs are true signs. Can we all say that? Trust me, if you are with a lady and she speaks bad things about her family, her blah blah, leave her. In no time she'll speak about you. You'll be in that category also. Cousin, ask a monalemo. Oh, no, I'm telling you, that's what some do. Even you'll make mistakes. She will go out there and speak about you like that. If I'm telling you the truth, early signs are true signs. If she does it now or he does it now, he will do it then. Actually, he can even master it and do it with much perfection and mastery. So believe the early signs. Don't debate them. Once a person shows you early signs, take them. And make sure that you believe them. Wa ro bolela le motho. La tla le bolela 7 days yo tla bolela. A disappear for 3 days. A boa. I'll find the same attention again. A disappear for 2 days. A boa. Wa bona mo robale on and off. Ke South African Eskom. There will be load shedding from time to time. Wa bona motho wa a kwatile a se bolela didimala. Just know that kwatela didimala se bolele. That's who they are. So far, that is just what I can give you. 3 categories: primary attributes, secondary attributes, tertiary attributes. That's what we work on. And all these. Are we fine on that? Are we winning? Let's talk now. Do you have any question? Do you have any question? Oscar Wara, Regaso Jaji. It's a safe space here. Yeah. Oh, you can take the mic. You can take this mic. Yeah, don't. Yeah. Take your bishop. a kere ba bangwe o kry brother o tšhama ka gore o apere pila o itse gore nako ngwe le bana ba tla se patele school fees yena a reka diaparo. Hey, it's part of the puzzle. It's part and parcel of everything. Yeah, and another question, is there anyone with another question? So that we see, we note all the hands. We have one there, two. What is the third one? Oh, our cameraman also. All right, let's continue.
Okay,
Now you can start.
my question was on, I think it was your wife, she said that you must, it was you who said that you must choose what you believe is beautiful. You said every man has a naked woman's body in their mind. So we live in a very visual society with Instagram, Twitter, and everything. How do you know, Hore, what society or marketing agents, whatever, what they see as beautiful? How can you stop it to influence what you think is beautiful? Because beauty is versatile. Ya change, always. So how can you fight to have a straight mentality, or this is beautiful for me?
Oh, you are saying how do we make sure that we are not influenced by media? My beauty, my level or standard of beauty is not so. Look, I said something when my wife my wife was speaking about that. We spoke about something. We said, in essence, people don't define beauty at an adult age. They define it at an early age. Trust me, media has nothing much. The well-known proxy of beauty or judgment of beauty is that beauty lies on the eyes of the beholder. That's why, personally, I don't subscribe even to this thing. I say, this is my wife. She's more beautiful than all women in the world. All pastors who do that, they show you their level of IQ is very low. Check everywhere I've preached. I've never introduced my wife like that, even in this church. My wife is beautiful to me, not to you. Actually, when another man says he's here with his beautiful wife, I get worried. Because this was supposed to be seen by me alone. Now, a beauty is what you define. Often at time, I will tell you this, media has got what it sells as beauty. You check even with these things of Miss South Africa. They are trying to bring it home, natural, all the stuff. But at first, it was never like that. It was more artificial and stuff. But in essence, it's not about what the media says. It's about when or what do you call. Does it make sense? It's about when or what do you define. Now, when I said every man has got the naked body of a woman in his mind, I meant that it is never borrowed. It is born. Trust me, there are some guys, it doesn't matter what you can say about chubby women, he will go for chubby women. Even some guys, no matter what you say about slender women, will go for slender women. That is what we call his beauty. There are some guys, no matter what you try to sell him, that's what he sees as beauty. And that's why you need to choose a person that you are comfortable to call them beautiful. Bona, beautiful, it is not what the world calls it. It is what you call it. Someone can come here and say, yeah, Madam Sadia, what too much. So that is exactly what must be. Be real to yourself. That's why I said, firstly, when you choose, for you to choose a right partner, you need to be honest with you. Know exactly what do you want. Does it make sense? So don't worry about Instagram followers of Mini Dlamini, of Boiti, of all these people. What is there that fulfills you? Because remember, the person you are marrying, they've got to occupy that which has to fulfill you. What you are comfortable with in your life. Next question. We had 3 hands. Yeah, give it to the next one. Yes.
I want to answer one more question. You talk about spiritual in marriage. I didn't get it nicely because when you say spiritual, I want to know how spiritual, like how deep it is. Like, can you, spirituality, how? I want you to break it down for us nicely so that we can get it.
Okay, as he said that his primary attributes was spiritual, like the God that he calls, he needed somebody that calls the same God. So the spiritual level, the spiritual maturity, to me, what mattered was with him was the spiritual maturity. Is he on the same level as me, or is he here? So you need to be spiritual on balance to be able to go further. As I said, most of the things in marriage, they're spiritual. Most of the things in marriage, they're spiritual. So you need somebody that is spiritual on the same level with you to be able to solve those things.
In essence, you need to have the same reference. Because the problems that we face in marriage, they need solutions. What do we refer to as a solution? Because you will come and say, yeah, woman submit. And says, who, me? I'm Africanist. According to Queen Mujaji, no man must tell me, I make it rain. I'm just giving example. You know, now, I do a lot of marriage counseling. Often a time before you even talk to people, you check what is their base. And when there is no base, it's usually difficult to deal with it. So when we talk about spiritual, we talk about the common ground where your marriage is landing. Because the marriage has to land. It's not only, it has to land somewhere. Spiritually, that's where the marriage lands. Because at the end of the day, when you have to broadly love, it has to come from what you call a base of your spirituality. You get what I'm saying? When you have to develop the principle of your marriage, it comes from what we call a base. Like I know a friend of mine who's an Africanist. In his house, he has got a long chair, big chair. And all his kids, they sit here. They sit here. And his wife has got a smaller nyana chair. That's the order of his house. And I'm like, Aziavu yamfetu. That's how he refers to some of the things in his marriage. He has terms for all these things. But in essence, we are saying you have to have a common spirituality. It's very important. I know there are some people who manage to maneuver that, but trust me, when they maneuver that, one is losing a lot. One is giving more than they should give. I don't know if I make sense. One is giving more than they should give. Especially men. Men are the leaders, the head. You've got to have a bigger spiritual tank. You as trust me, a man must have a bigger spiritual tank because this thing eats in your spirit every day. It eats into you every day to keep it afloat. So if you are a weak man, you'll end up taverning and not being able to come back home. Because it's taking out of you. You don't even know how to deal with it. Because in marriage, it gets real, hey? Hey, comrades. Hey, comrades, it gets real in marriage. It gets tense for 6 months. You think it's a joke and it's real. And or activity blind shut up. Now it gets real. There has to be a spiritual ground in order for you to deal with all these things. There was a question also there. Yes, what's your question, Baba?
All right. The question that I wanted to ask is on the matter of Mama Obulete earlier on, before you get married, work on yourself. I get. And then later on, you talked about first signs are true signs. Is it possible? I'm asking. I'm not sure. I want to know. Is it possible that because of the signs that I've seen, it means that person maybe is not ready. She needs to work on herself before she can get into marriage. Can those signs that I see now be changed? Okay, you said we don't have space for people, but okay, she said you can work on yourself, right?
Yes.
And like get your priorities straight and get your focus straight. And then he said
First signs are true signs.
first signs are true signs. Is it possible that first signs are not actually true signs? It's just a matter of the person is not ready for a particular level in life.
Yes, it's a matter of readiness. That's why I said you need to work on yourself before you can be able to. So when you go, let's say you are in a date. Okay, let me make an example. You are in a date. You saw those first signs. It means this person is not ready.
So first signs are not always true signs.
They are true signs. It means they are not ready.
Okay. Let me tell you this. What we are saying is this. When you start dating and getting ready for marriage, you should have worked on your own. So that you don't give wrong signs. Does it make sense?
Now it makes
Now, I think you don't understand the basic of saying. By the time you start to say, now, I want to go into this thing, commitment and get into marriage, you must be ready. So that when we arrive there, we don't get to mix you up. You must be sure of you. Because if you have not worked on you, you'll give us signs that are wrong. Wabo? Like as a guy, I'll give example. You can find that you have not worked on how you communicate. You say things as if you strating, and they will read you wrong because of how you speak. You mean well, Shem. This guy mean well. It's just, yeah, now he's so much uncultured. The way he put things, it's just too raw. Wabo? But in essence, you are not that much of a bad person. But because you have not yet worked on you, then the signs will be. Wabo? A person will ask you a question, for example, what will you do? Wabo? Just in J, because women will just frustrate you for it to just check. The women will have got away with guys, you know. Ladies, they know how to do their thing. God has given them the instinct of pulling the worst and the best out of you. Then when I go to Malwa, we say, "Na, nkasa di tipa tse 6 ka uthaba." And like, now, when you're not really that type of a guy, no, of knives and stuff. But because of, in essence, you just just couldn't answer the question well and bring these 6 knives later as a joke to say, no, but it's a joke, man. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. This is how I perceive cheating or blah, 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 blah. Wabon? In essence, it's all up here. How ready are you psychologically for this? Wabo? It's all up here. So, when we say early signs are true signs, I'll tell you this. Psychos are psychos. You can't unpsycho them. Yeah. Toxic people are toxic people. You can't untoxify them. So, in essence, you will be able to pick it up too early. Especially dire aspects of people. They are there. It's given, it's evident. So you need to really know how to pick that up. In essence, let me tell you this. Many of you guys, your problem is that you fall in love. What must we do now? Now, you should not fall in love. You must grow in love. See something worth loving in a person and love them. I mean, if I walk in a mall wampona and sit upon Oshanya Ganna, Mfetu, do you even know what I'm carrying? Do you even know who am I? So instead, before Oshanya Ganna, get to sit down with me and talk to me. And get to have a clear picture of who I am. Does it make sense? Because some of you, trust me, if you really can stay with whoever you are crazy about for just 6 months, you will realize, you can just talk to them for 6 months, you'll realize that I want to say, look, but what you want to Zimbabwe, how we are moya melt. You'll see that there is nothing here. Because I just loved the makeup and the dress code and the what and the what. But this person, there is nothing. Anna we man. You get what I'm saying? So anyway, we'll talk about that in the next session. Do you have any other question? O motho na o gafisa wa o gafela bjano.
So, since already you learn to grow in love, I get. So, what are the standards that women actually set out for themselves commonly? Because when we seated, this is what I want, this is what I want, this is how I want it, this is with whom I want it with. So, what are the standards that you set out as women that says, okay, commonly so? Because Basadi, they're not so transparent in a way as Majitare Lengati. So, what are the standards that women set for themselves? But let me put it in a primary form, commonly so.
In essence, with women, it can be commonly so. And it should not be, including with men. No one. But let me tell you this, women have always had clear standards. Better than men. That's why men are sitting there, yeah, women love money, women are gold diggers, women are, because they are clear on their standards. Women have been clear on their standards. They have always known what do they want. That's why many men have got many names for women. Men have never known what they want so much that they take everything. So you as men, or you as a man, have your own standards and be clear with them. And go to a person with your standards. Let them come with their standards. Let's see if this is the same grading. Does it make sense? But women have got standards and clear standards. Trust me, women have never compromised their standards. That's why to some men, they don't want the relationship. They just take money and leave. It's a standard on its own.
Like when I met him, I asked him a question. And only today, he's still amazed. Why did I ask him that question? How long did you keep the job? Yeah, I asked him that. And a reason I asked him that is, remember, they are paying him. So if he cannot sustain the job where they are paying him, how can he sustain a marriage that you need to work every day? So that's a question. And he was so, even today, he likes to talk about it. But why did you ask me that question? Because you cannot, there's no way. Marriage is work every day. You work marriage every day, and you are not getting paid. How can you keep something that you are not getting paid, whereas you cannot keep something that you're getting paid on a monthly basis? True.
And you know, when we talk about it every time, I'm realizing, let me say a guy says he's a businessman, he's not working. But he cannot keep what he says, it must sustain his life. Like in 1 year, he does 6 businesses that all fail. Or in 4 years, he started 10 ministries that failed. There is no focus. What are you busy with? What, you know, when my wife asked me that question, I was like, I'm a Billy, no so I felt suspicious here the pension fund again now. But she said, no. Answer me. I think at the time, in one job, I was already, I know I don't keep jobs that much, you know. Revolutionary, so there will be fights somewhere in process. Now, I was almost 3 years. She said, okay, no, I get it. Then I asked her later when I said, why that question is suspicious? She said, no. You need, if a man cannot keep one thing, focused on one, that he believes it will make him a success, what about marriage? God against men who are all over the place, eh? Today, give rapper. How the next day, man of God, and he's walking on water now. Then the next day, I ukopana le Africa ke politician, le na ke politician. Then you see right here there is a problem here. Then after he meets another businessman, he's a businessman. Does it make sense? So standards, my brother, you set for yourself. Standards, my sister, you set for yourself. What you need primarily, secondarily, tertiarily. What is non-negotiable, what is negotiable, and what is additional, it's you who said it. And can I tell you something? Some of you, the reason you cannot be able to attract right people is because you have kept wrong people. That is a basic thing. You have kept somebody you are not sure of. That's why even right people cannot come your way. Is there any other question? Time and it's 17 o'clock. We said we are finishing at 6. We started 30 minutes late. Yes, let's talk.
Greetings to everyone, Alembo. I had 2 questions, but my first question was, what can you do when you are in a relationship with someone that you didn't know that he is or she is toxic, and you find out who over toxic whenever you fight or that dragon moyena o tila le yena bjang. Wa
Dragon
tswa
is a strong word, my brother.
still okay.
Oh, yeah, continue.
O tswa mo yena, or you try to talk to her, find help mo yena, o mo thuse to
Yeah, that was your question. Or a second one?
And the second one was, we grew up in a philosophy ya gore, as you grow up, maybe as a pastor or a young minister, and then you must be attracted, or you must date someone, a worshiper, a singer, and everything. No, I'm talking about myself, guys.
No, I know where he's coming from. Relax. Let him feel free. Yeah.
So, as you are talking right now, I begin to understand hore who choose a partner o tlo tswelang pele mo bophelong le ena, it doesn't contain dilo tse yalo tsa go tlo wa worshiper and everything. But if ke dilo tse o di ratang wena personally, you want someone who can lead people to worship before you can minister and everything, are you wrong or not?
Okay. Your first question actually will lead us to the third session. Building strong relationship for healthy marriage. We'll answer it in the next session. Can I not answer it for now? The second one, can I deal with it? Onyaka worshiper like sister nakinyaka moreri, right? Only nakinyaka or bang introduce our sukuma bagubone mkoami. You know, I'm glad my wife is not on that league, eh? You know, we travel many places to preach. I never even introduced my wife. And she knows how much I love her, so I don't have to love her in public. Actually, in this church, they know I don't even talk about my wife much. Unless when I tell a certain story. I can't. Because nalenar shabrili too. But let me tell you this. My brother, what I told you about primary, secondary, whatever, to say negotiable, non-negotiable, additional. For me, those worshiping, preaching are additional. It's good, it will be a good team, but it must not be primary. Because a service of worship, probably she will sing the longest in a concert for an hour. In a service for an hour. And if you are coming to preach, probably for 5 minutes before you preach, just their environment. But in essence, the marriage is not done on the pulpit. You are going home. You have to raise kids. She has to handle life issues that you are dealing with. So now, the background that you come from is the background I come from. Anyway, preachers you heard are preachers I heard mostly, though I've been added to one of the preachers you heard also. There is that. But more than anything, we have been given the additionals as the essentials. But those additionals are not essentials. So when you choose a person, don't look at the non-essential. Wabon? Look at the essential, the non-negotiable stuff. What really keeps the engine running? Marriage needs an engine. So we look at the engine. We don't look at the color of the all these things, they don't matter. But if the engine is not powerful, it's not going to go up the steep. And marriage has got the steep. And has got the slope. The brakes must be holding when you go down the slopes. Because some partners can be good only in some phases, but not other phases. Can we take a last question? Maybe what time is it? Can we take a last question so that we start the next session in the next, maybe by 10 past, and create 15 minutes after of talking? Do you have any other question? You are all fine. So, everything, first session, second session, they are meaningful by now, ne? Can we go to the third session? Actually, we will not today address the process of building, preparing for marriage, ne? Can we have it next time? Can we have it next time? Is that fine? We are not dying, we are still young. We will still be with you here. So we believe that this is our class, it will be growing. Let's have classes going on. After all, it's for free, guys. Trust me, many people pay us a lot of money to do what we are doing here. But because it's Hammanskral, we love our people, and Hammanskral is leading with gender-based violence nationally. Men are killing women every day here. I just heard a week back, one of the guys who was closer to us when we're arriving on the other side, he just killed a girlfriend, he's arrested. These are some of the things we need to deal with. So this is also a service to the community. You know what? And also divorce is very high. I've seen it myself. So if you're getting married, you need premarital counseling, please do. Even if you are a man of God. You know me, I flow in dimensions. I'm a prophet of the prophets. You need a counseling when you are getting married. There is no prophecy there. Kwa? Sbereke is prophet. Verse. Verse I bereke. Abero musadi au tempele he. Tau tempela. Don't you test me that I'm local na. Tau tempela. Au tempela uzor ing o prophet kwa isingim. Tempele msadi. Ar o apostolo. Apostola kwa isingimo. Mo umunaka. Kibulela munaka, and that's true. So let's deal with some of these things, guys. Building strong relationship for healthy marriage. Now, let me start by this statement. Approach matters most in marriage. The foundations of relationship will determine the health of the marriage. The foundation of a relationship will determine the health of the marriage. Relationship foundations will determine the marriage health. We can't compromise that. If the relationship had weak foundation, then the marriage will be unhealthy. Do you know that those who are being beaten in marriage, they were beaten before marriage? Those who are cheated in marriage, they were cheated before marriage. Those who are fighting in marriage, they were fighting before marriage. So now, relationship foundation cause marriage comfort or discomfort. You can tell by the relationship what kind of a marriage will this be. I mean, imagine you meet for 1 hour. In that 1 hour, you have so much anger and impatience and what? Now, hello nanto one hoira halang. Ke dragon. The dragon comes out that time. Imagine if the dragon is coming out in a relationship. What about in marriage? So now, let's talk about this. Honestly speaking, how the relationship is, it will tell how the marriage will be. The communication in a relationship is already a projection of what will be in marriage. Obviously, marriage will put a slight weight on a relationship. Anger no arpatelit bills. But when we are married, motakaso fedile wa bona. Teboro send a message or baby go hopotse byang. But motakaso fedile mo wena ngopose. Now, if relationship is not fine, how do you think that the marriage will be fine? Because at the end of the day, relationship is light. If you fail internships, how will you be able in the permanent position? Hape mo relationship ra toga wa bona. O palla ke letogo. O nyaka mmereko. I mean, you are in a relationship, but you can stay 3 days without talking to each other. I understand this. O sale kwa mmao, o sale kwa mmae. Mara le boledisane for 3 days. How will it be in marriage? Yeah. Wa bereka. Thank you. You know, how will it be in marriage? Do you understand what I'm saying? Do you understand what I'm saying now? A re tlo ba right go lenyalong. Ke be re bile blessed ke moruti. Yo. Ke be ra per di ring. Ne bile ke rata tse roundonyana tse. E black nyana tse. Tsa o tshwana le tsa bo mamang. E bile go reka gimanyana. Aha. Tla o phosa ka ring nyana yo hao yo. Now, let me give you this simple example. I'm going to use just few examples of relationships and the marriage factor to it. Dishonest relationship. If you are in a dishonest relationship, you don't tell each other the truth. When you are in marriage, it will breed wrong expectations. And you are dishonest to each other in a relationship. When on an onyala bona, auto behavior is all that, you know? Because he's a dishonest man. But when you get married and stay closer with him, this is just a fool without a full stop, yeah? Now, a dishonest relationship will create what? Wrong expectations in marriage. That's why when you date a person, you've got to try your level best to be as raw as possible as you can. Yet in a respectful manner and so on. So that they know who are they messing up with. If you are in a dishonest relationship, it will create a false image of your partner. When on nyala mthomso kantu nyala mthomso wa bona. Like unyaka worshipara when we do ka re itse opela mara romela voice notes tsa ausa hao. Who sleep on this song. You are holy. Holy. Mara itse your sister war a opele mo ke romele kwa. Ha thoma banong a fitla sukuma mkwami ba kubone ozo hlabelela lana. I'm just giving an example. It's just a historical example. Now, let's go to this one. Compromised relationship. You know compromised relationship. Wa mono mara smo to ke mnyaka mara no ke nne. Apa o tla nna ba tsena go lenyalong wa itse. Ka ba itse tho itse nga re ke no for time being. There is no time being. You will stay there and find yourself married to a time being person. So a compromised relationship breeds manipulation in marriage. Because if you are married to this guy who is not what you want, or this lady who is not what you want, you'll end up wanting to twist them to be what you want them to be. Does it make sense? Ogre helia go batung, call some of your friends, o fam sa di house script, but uriso. Uska man, ay wena man. Because you have compromised those things in the relationship. So now they are coming to bite you in marriage. Does it make sense? Hey, the script fails. And when people come back, they are no longer happy. So if the relationship is built on compromise, eventually the marriage will suffer manipulation. Because you'll want to make the person to be what they are not. And also, because you compromise so much, you'll end up undermining them. An engineered relationship, you know engineered relationship, whereby the pastor forced you, your parents forced you. You know those engineered relationship, the ones that we come with a bridge and we plug it, like crossed into love now. It usually breeds responsibility. I don't love this person, he's loved by you. Does it make sense? Now, if you want to build a healthy relationship, if you want to build a strong relationship that leads into healthy marriage, here is what I will tell you. Okay, firstly, let's start here. Do you know what kills our generation? Is this rush. Actually, some people are in a relationship, but they've never even been proposed. Nowhere have ever loved was spoken about. Or when the relationship started, that electricity, man. The relationship of these days are never started. They move osmotically from higher pressure to lower pressure. Kiri jiki jiki. Ra re ka ne ke ntse le ena re rabolela ke re ka mo understanda jiki jiki mo di ma go ntshwere so oh ha re ka re somar wa bona o ska njaja. Now I want to give you these basic 3 levels that will help you most. That will help you most. I'm not saying you must keep a ticking box and say, tick, but I'm just giving you this. That will guide you even to get into the process of conversing with a person. Number 1, there is what we call casual friendship. I want in the casual friendship. And before we get to deeper, we start casual. It's a casual thing. Anger balitoma going box bar marawena. That's casual. Hona mo marawena mo itomile taba. Wa sa rubale. Hape ke 11. O sale online na. Hona mo. At that level whereby it's just casual. In the casual relation, that's as casual as it is. You have a freedom to ask questions right there. Hey, Tomakamara wena. The first thing in that level, create the freedom to ask questions. Hey, but when I go kwate it's king, seleka o feta go molo ka wavela. Awa kwatela. You know, it's still casual. Yeah, roll with it, man. Now, in that level, that's why you're inquiring about personal opinions. You understand what I'm saying? That's why you're inquiring about personal opinions. I'm too busy more breather through your inbox. In the morning, Marawena. How was your day? Ask about personal opinions about many things that you want to know. What's your opinion about this? What's your opinion about church? What's your opinion about business? What's your opinion about all these? You ask questions. You are assessing the wishes. What are you doing? You are examining the dreams. What do you want to be in life, general? No, there is nothing serious. Does it make sense? At that level, you will be able to even pick up if these people, they've got goals in life. If they've got dreams or wishes. If they've got opinions about what is their opinion about this and that. Trust me, once you skip the casual aspect of their friendship, and when Wadisa go deep 16 from the onset, you will drown. Because you'll end up swimming with a person you don't know. Don't go to the deep level. After the casual relationship, now we can move to the close friendship. Believe you me, once you have identified that me and this person, we have mutual goals, we have similar values. Do I make sense? We have likely ideas. We swim almost in the same wavelength. We are both committed to almost the same cause. Then that's when you can see, after you've spoken and you've tried to check, then you can now allow the close relationship. You can meet and talk in person. You can now begin to meet and be seen with a person. At least, le dragon controller. Because to a larger degree, you end up with people you have never spoken to them anything. It's just today we have no time. But there is also something we must discuss next time. Please remind me. six things that singles must talk about in a date. Trust me, once you meet with a person who has interest in you, and especially now ladies, when a guy is not serious with you, do you know what he will do? Golf 7. A golf 7 at Amaya. Happy Konotora 160 ka 2 minutes. Ona leona na ana leona. A guy is keeping you there without discussing real stuff. Without talking real issues.
And when you want to talk real issues, we dismiss all the time. So you must get the red flags.
Now you pick up right there that this person is not serious with anything. Wabon? Or even a lady can mess up with you. Or so, who are we, me and you? We are human beings. Yeah, I know we are human beings. I mean, we are mammals. But kidding? But really, mammals or reading? Yeah, we are mammals, you know. We are happy. We are not happy force, right? No, now, now, let me tell you this. Once you sit down with a person, you need to know what we speak about. Because some of you don't know. When you're into a date or when you meet a person, you meet just to eat barking the chopsticks or the wings or whatever. It's not about that. You've got to talk real stuff. Actually, I advise you, before you even get into food, because some of you, when you see food, you get overexcited. Say, I ask order bill. Bring water for now. I engage it. What do you want? And can I tell you this? Ladies, when a guy is serious about you, he will direct conversation to seriousness. And as he serious, out of monor I'm up deal my mind. Now you see, man, this is no the real matured guys, professionals who do that to ladies. Or some of them they are too smart. They keep you on the periphery of life. He's telling you about the trends on Twitter. Are you there for Musakaula? Are you there for Minilamini? You get what I'm saying? You need to really, when you get to the level of being close with a person, check their goals, check everything.
And the other thing is, guys knows what they want from day one. From day one. If he wants you from day one, he knows. If he doesn't want you, so he's not interested in you. So there's somebody who is interested in him. From day one, a guy knows who is he interested in.
Let's commit.
Guys?
Let's commit. Let's take it one step at a time.
Yes, because you are not the one.
Let's get married. Even ladies do that. Let's get married. I'm not ready. Then you know from that here I'm being played. So before you get too close to a person, seen in public with a person or anything, make sure that you have established few things about them in that early phase of Marawena. Muzelo non Marawena, uiranga life ya how? O rumurudi. Marawena umurudi go guy. And then is Pastor Bay. So now, let me tell you, we are business. How long have we been doing it? Because I'm telling you the honest truth. Some of you ladies, you'll sit with a smart project. There are some guys who are just a smart project. How now? Like a smart project, he's just a luxurious wheelbarrow. Where you found him, that's where you left him. You can't take him anywhere. Yeah, it's just a flat tire, a flat spare tire, west parts. Now, we said number one, you do on the casual relationship, you must create a freedom to ask questions, examining the dream, discussing the goals. On the close relationship, you check that me and this person, we pursue mutual goals. We share similar values. We have likely ideals. We are committed to success. They have something that I need, and I have something that I can give them. Can I tell you this, please? If you're writing, write down. Never be with a person you'll never give them anything. You'll never contribute anything in their lives. Never. Don't come into a relationship to be a cabbage.
What do you bring into this
On the table.
relationship? But I'm the table. And when you are the table, how about abuse? I agree, you're an object. So obviously there will be abuse. You're an object, they will use you and leave you because you said, I'm the table. What are you bringing to the table? So you need to be clear. What are you bringing? What do you have? Unlike Ore, I'm the table. So you're an object. When they abuse you, then wamakal. Because it's you who gave them that right. Abuse.
Yeah. So now, let me tell you this. In essence, if you're with a person who can't contribute anything into their lives, you are delaying yourself. You don't delay them. Because you'll never grow. Yourself, you'll never grow. I mean, if Ata are a politician, we have nothing to do with a politician. What are you doing to a politician? If Ata are nagi murutu, we have nothing to do with murutu. Or a businessman, you know what you have to do with a businessman. We're not the nyagala manager our shop right, so that umthathu zedi hembetsa hides a white. Stay with what you hunt for what you can kill. Chase what you can catch. Don't ever aim for what is way higher than you. Are we clear now? Now, after casual, close, then we go to intimate relationship. Up intimate direct sex. Say, apele na wana. Yerra. Kinyaga ya former President Jacob Zuma. Listen. Intimate doesn't mean sex. Hi. Anyway, intimate friendship. This is where you are guaranteed of a person's personality. You approve their character. You agree in principle. You share future convictions. You know, you are guaranteed to this person, at least the man, I got some magaze like you. Can I tell you this? Most of the time, people who have been shocked by their partners are those who are on a bargaining sprint with them. You are sprinting. Don't sprint into a relationship. Ushianete guy. Batlo? Batlo Mutsi? No, it's fine. But in essence, do not sprint into a relationship. Because you need to build some measures that will be able to at least secure you. So now, guarantee of a personality, you approve of their character, you agree in principle, you share future conviction. Then that now, you can be free a little bit with a person, woman. You can be free with them. You can get into their circle. You can allow them to meet some of your friends. Wabon? Angere at first, auto toma obolela mutu ka Lina. Ana Lina at first ke hona le this guy. Ke sa ilo mona, ke sa le busy this guy. Okare man. And then ever with about what happened to the guy? Or if I surpass some of the lead masters, let him go. Because I'm telling you the honest truth. If you end up being too intimate with a person, as if you are clear about them before time, you will be in trouble. You will be in trouble. You'll end up sitting with a person. Also, ketile papa. Na kitamayin. No, because you have rushed too quickly. So do not rush to a commitment. Relax first. Engage. Talk. Ask questions. You understand what I'm saying? And then after, when you are sure of 1, 2, 3, and I'm not saying this must take 4 months, 5 months, 2 years. It depends on your conversation and your communication. Like I'll tell you the honest truth. In essence, if we know what we want, we can even marry within 3 months. We can, and still have a successful marriage. It depends on whether we are able to know what we want and get what we want. Wabona somebody who goes to a shopping, actually list, they become faster than Baba sa ilo nyagang. So you must have your clear shopping list. Pella, choosing a partner is like shopping. When you get into the shop, it's so well packaged. But when you get home, you find that the product is dysfunctional. But the package was so colorful. So you need to know what do you want. And be clear on what you want. Don't rob a process. Our microwave generation, I get this is a microwave generation. You don't. I always say, this is a kettle generation. It takes 5 minutes. You are done. So they were able to move things procedurally. No, it's not a process. Everything is so quick. Even there is even a microwave pub. So even the relationship, a microwave relationship. The marriages are microwave marriages. That's why when they get on the other side of marriage, within 3 months, they hit the block. And they're sitting in some office saying, yeah, how much is a divorce here? Honestly speaking, that's a problem. So do not rush the relationship. I know some of you have been so single and so ready for too long. But where are you? But where are you too? But I love you more. But where are you? Where are you more? That's how much some people are just waiting. Currently, before to I love you. I want to. Already you are rushing to say you are just waiting for I love you, and you're like, yeah, I love you too. No, don't be in a hurry. Don't, because you are rushing into your own peril. Does it make sense? Why do that keta motho ne? Wa ro mo lebella wa re maramo ke lahlile. Wa ramo ke hatile sepa. Wa gro se tsore sendela di question, how do I break up amicably?
Or ugugula.
Or Google. Or Google. How do I break up amicably? Then you see, right? No. We go shopping. Asna a list or unyakaing. And he ended up with what they don't want. And can I tell you this? Don't lower your standard for another person. Don't sell yourself too cheap. Because you just want to be in a relationship. Don't settle for what you don't want. Ivan? Please. Now let's talk about this. Do you know one of the things? Do we still have time here? Let me check time. Yeah. I need 15 minutes to address this, probably the last part. Do you know one of the things that makes people to make wrong decision is sex before marriage? Ala jana, alisanahan. La jana, alisanahan. Trust me, once people engage sexually, they no longer think straight. They no longer see anything. No, I'm telling you the truth. Check on Facebook, on social media. But there is nothing that confuses like a player. I'll play. Because rushing this thing of sex before marriage, it makes people to blunder big time. Once you involve sexually, you will no longer be able to think straight. Before you come nothing, avoid that, because as soon as you have sex, it's no longer about character. It's no longer about personality and anything. It's no longer about ideas and philosophies. It's about size and performance. How arbuleleng abe mo ona Sunday school mo. awa nna ne ke re fela la e bona na once as soon as you get there, trust me, you'll no longer judge the person the same way you judge them. Actually, some of the ladies I know, you come while talking to these two guys. Marwa ira flopo le o. Bona wa izika ntwa o irile nyona. A o sa bona selo, bona dina lady fela. And can I tell you something? Most of the guys who are manipulating women, they make sure they lead them to sex. After sex, that's what they deal with you. They manipulate everything about you. Koro make sure bona lo tsama felo phelo botse ena felo it's king. So now there is a danger in this thing of you of engaging in sexual intercourse with people that you are still trying to know them. Because as soon as once, number one, once you engage in sexual activity, you lose focus of personality. Lala arrogant, da bona arrogance. Why not hope like yo? Why is it? Yeah, I can't know one betile, but why didn't you tom panyona? Even I got tomorrow tom panyona. I was a robadi, langra and tofanyona. Trust me, majority of people who are not married, they are not able to judge their partners well because they are already so much sexually involved. Take time a little bit. You know, Steve Harvey wrote this book. I read it on relationship. Act like a what? What like a what? He spoke about something. Take 90 days. I'm not preaching that. Sex before marriage is a sin. That's my standard. He says that. And I was sitting there and I was thinking, Germara, is it feasible? And I'm realizing that, do you know that on its own, it can be a powerful principle for the world. But because in the church anyway, let's go be vogara alijani mo. La tafunyana mo greke. What tafunyani wa mo? Hergaira last sex scan mo greke will be shocked. Right, we are mama bating. How can I answer date or when last did you have sex and the time? We'll be shocked here. Yeah. So now yeah, that's why we need these things on Sunday evening. Hold on the whole week. Sunday no so different Sunday morning. Oh yeah, hi one. Now, let me tell you this. Once you get sexually involved with a person, let's not talk about the spiritual aspect of sex. We'll talk about it later. Eventually, it affects how you look at a person. You lose track of their personality. Trust me, now she's dressed. You see her dressed. But trust me, as soon as you make her naked, you no longer see her dressed. Or naked. Whatever they do, you are not able to even see it. Number two, once you engage in sexual activity, you create false bond. Even if you don't bond with this person, you don't connect. But because of this that we did, we feel like we are bonding. Because you're not able to bond outside of sex. Every time your relationship leads to bedroom, you can't talk about anything. You only know a body language. There are no other language than a body language. So that's the problem we're having. That makes many people to marry wrong people because now me and this person, now you can't sit down and look at them. Can I tell you this? Try to sit there and talk to the person. You will see how much you can derive out of a person just without jumping on bed with them. And that is even a problem in the church. As soon as that happens, trust me, already people no longer see things. They see shadows now. Number three, once you engage in sexual activity, your judgment is overshadowed. Your judgment is no longer clear. And you know how will it be clear in marriage? Anger be anong mo e re go botse. How abe sex mo relationship is bile monate. Anger na di obligations. Ya ka mo relationship. Ya ka mo nyalo re be monate it tlhoka a lot of hard work eh. Habe easy eh. Easy anger a wonno ba wa bo. Yeah, wonno ba. But once you get into marriage, now sex detoxes. Reality strikes in. Wa bona man pile moloi o confuse ka so sese. Her ka khaola ntwe, ha ona silo mo. Her ka playstera mo, ra playstera. Ha ona silo mo. In essence, some of you ask yourself a question. If you never had a penis, what else are you bringing in marriage? If you never had a vagina, what else are you bringing in marriage? Because some of you, the only thing you bring in marriage is just your private part. Oh, also I'm saying some people, if we can remove the penis and the vagina, what else are they bringing? O to krontsele motho mo fa so motor yo wa di kreile letter ya SARS business yetsa eng yetsang utar oh yeah ne as Bawel wings diabo ne you are as Bawel wings, no contribution they can put on the table, nothing they can bring. You tell them about the complications that you are going through. You tell them about, I'm feeling a little bit down, blah, blah. I can't inspire them. The only thing is, kauchi. Upipite jaganama. Trust me, before you jump on bed, make sure that you're fully extracted what is in a person. You have drawn all the juices. You have taken out what is trapped inside of them. Hi, are we going somewhere here? Yeah? Let me take this, the fourth one. Once you engage in sexual activity, you build layers of intimacy. Now, you move from one level to another. And you realize that you have jumped the stages at a later stage. Ala kono handle dilo pila. I na foundation. I like the grade 1, grade 2, grade 3. Waban. But certainly movie le kwale. And it's hard to drag it back. Because all one hana fella. Oh no, kuma mo fella. Wow, shinamisa. No, that's the truth that I'm telling you. You know that many people I sit down with, especially ladies, Kirmara, in fact, this guy would treat us all. I don't know, Murudu, unropi like a sex, right? You. Umbeti like a judo. If you look up, like some right na akizur kigezing, cause ha fella or karkele fella kisa mautuko dim. So now you can't even talk anything. And can I tell you how guys are like? Let me tell you how guys are like. Guys can use sex to manage you for 10 years without realizing that there is no progress here. I'm going to every time I'll move sexually. When you try to think, here it is. Here it is. Then in no time you realize that you wasted 10 years here without going anywhere. So now, majority of relationships, they are not capable to build a healthy foundation because of this premarital sex. They've never even spoken about what matters most. But they have managed to share it many, many times. You'll find that you have had more sex more than conversations or chats. It's not a possibility, it's a reality. It's there every day. You'll find people have just met. I mean, honestly speaking, you spoke Marawena. After Marawena, it's out on pon. Oya go kamureng. Then jiki. Then in no time, you and this person, you don't have a relationship, you are just sexual partners. And you know that sex can keep you going for longest. It's like a drug. Do you know that sex can sustain unhealthy relationship? The only thing that's right is just sex. But everything else is wrong. There is no future here. There is nothing. Just felong gets us way man. Leller la bolela ha isi topic kwa o isa kwa. So now, trust me, if you can be able to move your relationship steadily through the process and not rush things, especially the issue of sex, believe me, you can derive better out of relationships. I remember me and my wife before we got married. Do you know, literally in 3 months, we spoke for more than, I think it can even be more than 300 hours. If there are 3 hours, we spoke literally the whole day and real stuff. I wish I can have transcripts. I don't know where are they. No, it was real. We were talking. Sometimes we'll be on a call, 4 hours non-stop, not talking about Marwan Fila Mar. Hape ko hupu to scream or yo, ira yo monate biang. Talking real life building stuff. Once we are able to put that aside and we are able to get that right, even when we go sexually, we get to the next level whereby we are married, we go sexually, everything gets to be smooth. Does it make sense? Nane ke khopela. Tlohelang ho janana rof. Because ke yone le khawatang. After sex, there is no any phase. You are done. That's a metric of school. It's the last class. There is nothing more. It means that now we are sure of where we are going. Time says we must take last questions so that we can close at 6. But don't worry. We'll come again. We'll keep on coming. Ne? Yeah, you are taking the mic most for questions. How many questions are we having now on this session? Okay, before we go on to your question, the question I suspended, are you answered now? You see how you make sure that there is no dragon. Because like I said, better lady dragon. You get that? And this is not a premarital counseling. Ne? Doesn't mean that if you came here somewhere you are ready for marriage, somewhere you are getting married, you still need to go to counseling if you are getting married. More specific. That is designed for your life issues, your personal circumstances. Yes, let's continue with questions.
So I have 2 questions. Ne? The first one is, you said, if you're going out on date, you get straight questions. Some people wanna as something that's a turn off. And then sometimes you might want to hit up a light joke on Twitter, like you said. Babang wanna, that's a turn off, they wanna get. So how do you distinguish whether the person that you're going out is this particular person and this is what I need to talk about? And another question, how can you differentiate between lust for love and love for love?
What?
Lust for love and love for love. Like, I get it, how to set the worries. And then, wamrata because of their circumstances. And then there's you loving a person like genuinely so. So how do you differentiate between you're hooked by sex or you're hooked by love?
Okay, let's start with the first one. I'm not saying be like a newsreader in a date. Like namhlanje sesilana kuspe sizokhuluma uthi ngishada nini, when are you marrying me? And the next question that we're going to now, obviously it's a conversation. Some of these things, it can take us a month to cover them, but we have to talk. We have to discuss, we have to dialogue, not compromise the quality of a conversation. Wawan? In the process of us engaging, conversing, there'll be jokes. I'm learning you. We'll have even inside jokes. Swabon? It's fun and game and all that, but we are objective. We are enjoying, in that enjoying the conversation, we are yet focused on what ought to be or achieved. And can I tell you this? Be focused in such a way that when your questions are avoided, you are able to pick it up. Waban? And if you don't have an answer for a question, be straight and say, I don't have an answer for that now. And even what to tell, you need to know when is the right time to tell some things. Like we got fell on the first date, I'm like, yeah, hey, the judge said you know I'm HIV positive. Or yeah, I've got 6 kids with different men. Ow. Yeah, you have them. Those are your kids, but we'll talk it. Gradually, we are growing into the conversation. You know, I've been raped by my uncle and my cousin and my father. We'll get there gradually. You get that? Don't have tell it all syndrome too early. Tell it all too early syndrome. Some things will grow into them. Now, I don't know about the lust for love and love for lust and stuff. Ne? I know that people can love or they can lust. Usually lust is a summary of going into the bedroom. All I want is to just have sex with you. Just to touch you and do that. But love is wanting to journey in life with a person. It's companionship. And let's also say this to balance the equation. Or there is a question on the other side. Let's also journey on this. Does it mean that if you love a person, you don't have the physical attraction to them? Loving a person also has the physical attraction in it. You understand that? After all, love is not only spiritual, it's also physical. But lust, you know, lust is a summary, it's a cut short. It's a conclusion. In conclusion, we jump in bed. Whether or not, this I can just. But usually when people love you, they want to know more about you. They want to talk to you. They want to be with you. Not just sleep with you. Do you know that some people, as soon as they ejaculate inside of you, they've got nothing to do with you or nothing to say to you? That's lust. Another question.
Bayadanki, thank you so much. Bishop and your wife, we appreciate you, man. Such a nice environment. Sorry for being late, however. Yeah, I have a question. Yeah, you see, I assume this is like your Christian gathering. And then also, my question is actually directed to relationships and stuff like that. The standard of comparison when it comes to relationships, because we have different cultures, especially as Christians. We are even maybe we'll get to that question when we meet again. Concerning marriage, we marry 3 times culturally. We marry in the church religiously, and then otherwise home affairs 3 times. But with other cultures, it's not like that. So we have a lot of questions and a lot of influences that are coming from different parties, special cultures that are socially, family-wise, and stuff like that. And the standard of comparison when it comes to relationships, do we regard that as what's the standard of who's the standard of comparison when it comes to relationships? Because I can make this example. When I go to church, they tell me, Mjolo Kisibi. I'm a pastor, by the way. You know, Bishop. Yeah, but we are coming from that environment where Mjolo Kisibi, and as time evolves, cultures evolve, and things change, principles change, and then now we are in a church that accepts relationships and calling it dating. But the dating in the black culture includes sex. The dating in the black culture includes a girl visiting a guy in his house. But in Christianity, that is not applicable. So
who's the standard of comparison when it comes to relationship? And if it's possible, how long? Thank you.
I love the question. I love the question because it's a question that we really need to talk about. And when he talks about marrying 3 times, is the truth of black Christians, right? Black Christians, that's what we go through. Like, or patela lobola, that's still a marriage. After to pay all the stuff, they still in the church want you to come for a blessing, I guess. That's still a marriage. And then you also go for the civil union or sign a gwalo. If the pastor is a marriage officer, would he one said once, but it's still the 3 marriages. Now, the white community doesn't pay lobola. Some bless and sign their marriage. The Indian community don't even bless or pay lobola. They just do the lunch, family meeting. It's like, oh, Krishna, love, and then we bless them, they get a house, they are gone. Now, let's tell the honest truth. Marriage is a multidisciplinary institution in approach. If you are a black person, in order for your marriage to be recognized in all levels, you've got to meet all this. I had to go pay lobola komafike. I had to go do something so that I get a blessing. I had to go and sign. That's marriage of a black person. If I did not pay lobola, I went only to sign. Her family will not accept me. Then eventually it will disadvantage her. If her mother passes on, I won't be able to be there to support her. Some things we do them because of our moral consciousness. I want to be there for her. I want to be part of a family and everything. And entry there is through lobola for that recognition. But if ever I did not want that recognition, nenga mushasha juta, maybe I agree at sign. God bless you. Still, I'm not sure if the pastor will agree to bless me before the families are involved. But in essence, myself, I wouldn't bless anyone as a pastor before the families are involved. I'll want to ensure that have the families been satisfied by the process. And you know very well that even when the pastor blesses and asking in a procedure, according to Marriage Act, you need to ask, is there anyone who object this marriage? I know some pastors are like, yeah, if you're objecting, you could have objected last week, man. But in court, we can annul that question was never asked. It must be asked. Then, if ever I'm the uncle and will sign and you are blessed in the church, I can object that. And because of our custom, the customary law, indigenous law, requires that you meet that, it will then collapse. Now, the question is, which standard are we using? On the blessing aspect, we use the Christian path. That's why we call it the Christian marriage. But on the local traditional path, that's the standard we are meeting. And we cannot unblack ourselves or un-Africanize our Africanness. I'm here, I'm a black man already. I'm marrying a black woman. If you don't want to go through the process of lobolas and stuff, fine, go for a white woman. And if the family is fine, you brought the mother flowers and some zinger wings and she's happy. We love this young man, he's a good guy, he brought me meat. Then it's cool. But if you're marrying a black person, they will be arguing about 60, 100,000 until it gets to 20,000. That's a process. But in essence, let's tell the truth. Marriage is not uni, it's multi. So we cannot approach marriage only in one Christian-sidedness because we are not detached from our families. We are still part of the community. She's from a community, I'm from a community. We still need to introduce each other to the communities. And that is through the processes of those communities. Libo? Because if we don't do some of these things, we sign only, and we are blacks. Trust me, some marriage will be vetoed in court. They'll work against them. They'll take it to court. You remember when Double HP died? The court process. The wife went to court and won the case because they went to pay lobola. The court said, that's a marriage. Some of you like, I don't say it's half a fair. o nyetse, wa swa mo. Or claim, whatever that is to be claimed. So it's better to settle for the half, o settle ra fetse once. Because the half is okay lenyalo le tsona. Ha ba le since ba ntsha di half ba tsamaya. Ba nyetse. And the problem with these traditional marriages, you know, they don't end. Traditional marriages don't end. Di fela bjang. Ba buisa mahadi. Di a bua dikgomo. That's the problem with these traditional marriages. We can only end a civil union. Some of you never knew that Mandela had a wife before Winnie, right? But when he died, they were mentioning that wife. Because traditionally, marriage does not end. If I divorce her, I marry another one, that one is a second wife. Because even if I'm no longer with her, she's still my wife. If we're to reunite, they won't say pay lobola again. That's traditional stuff. But in essence, when we follow the Christian standard also, there is no reversal of marriage. Because the blessing cannot be a curse because you are fighting. It's only a civil union that is divorceable. Because there is a decree, right? Or now that if I bless you, you get married, you are fighting. Does that mean now that blessing has become a curse? It's only in the civil union in court whereby it's broken. But in essence, the blessing is still there. You see why it's important to make sure that when you marry right, then you don't divorce. Because divorce is not really real. Yeah, no. Can we have this in the next topic? Can we have this in the next topic, in the next meeting? I don't know when is the next meeting. Is there any other question? I think time is no longer on our side that much. It's 18 o'clock. Do you have last question? Let's take a last question. There is no question. There is a question there. This is the last one. After we are closing, it's getting dark. People must drive home.
It's not a question. Ke notlaletsa. Ke mama ke bone he ke tsena ba bantši ba hadima hore banong o dintshang o nyakang mo. Ke mo to support you. Ke khale ke duma hore ho ka ba le something like this. Because rena re le bo mama re tsene ra wela. Gore today ha ke utlwa ba bolela so ke duma ka re nka namela stage yona bjanong ka le tshwara dia nako itsa maile a ire ke se ka hlole ke ya kwa le kwa ke tlo khopela hore next meeting ke ba ntsentshenyana le nna ke le re
Please, it's important. Re tlo fa slot.
dia boa ke bile mo lenyalong for 25 years ka tsena mo lona leo ke tlatlang ke le tlhalosa ebile hana bjanong ke tsene le modimo fosong ke a bona hore mohau wa modimo re lekane some things re tsene wena ho tswa ka mara tsona ho bohloko but ha ra tshwanela to keep quiet to help you. I'm here to help you. Hori, you mustn't do the same mistake that I've done. Ha ke a ya sekolong, ha ke a bala, ha ke a ruteha. Mara modimo ka re yena o lokile o ntse a re tlhatswa. O tsamaya molo no bona la rawa o kgethilwe. So ke mo for you. Tsoso tletse ba di boletse mmola gore a ke tsebe gore nka reng, but that's the honest truth. Nnete ra e nna ka marao ha re e bolele. Now I was never taught. So ke mo to help you, to teach you. Ke a leboha.
Yeah. Let's appreciate her. And thanks for coming, Mama. Thanks. Yeah, so please, guys, marriage is a serious thing. When we get there, we need to be sober, we need to be clear because, yeah, that's just my parting shot. Marriage is a serious thing. We need to be sure who are we really marrying. Any last point in your closing?
On those days, when you go to those dates, ask the relevant questions that are relevant to you, not to the next person, that are relevant to you. Some things that, so it's hore, these are the questions that will benefit me, that will not benefit the marriage. It will benefit you when you are in the marriage. So ask those relevant questions. Don't compromise. Be straightforward. Like, what's your intention regarding this relationship? Ask it from day one. Whether wa nyala or wa feta. Okay, ke Motswana ke tlhaga Mafikeng, wa nyala or wa heta. Either way, I asked him that. Day one. I was very straightforward. So it was about me. It was nothing about him. It was about me. All the questions that I asked, it was about me. It was not about him. So when you go on those dates, ask the right questions that will benefit you. That will not benefit the marriage, but it will benefit you as an individual. Thank you.
Ke nahana hore if itlile pheletsong, hey Riso, where is the program director? Mr. Program Director, thank you. May God greatly bless you. We'll release a poster next time. You will know, we'll talk about more issues, more and more issues. Reapianeng. Mama, also, you'll feature there. Please share your life story on that one. And let's do more work. God greatly bless you. Thank you.
Yeah, ne kopa re meleng kaofela and yeah, ne. Is everybody okay? Mind transformed, ne? Hearts changed, ne? Right, because the important thing is most problems in the church are caused by relationships, ne? You find a guy is saving, save effectively because mjolo wa moraga. And we are having dysfunctions here and there in the church because marriages also are not right. Wa tlhaloganya? Yeah, untate o tla mo kerekeng wa re tseya re le bo brother because ko jareteng a ho right. So this is the foundation, ne? Yeah, this was truly beneficial, and like I said, it's gonna be the first of many. So can we please bow our heads and close our eyes, and we really thank God for a time as this, ne? Father, in the name of Jesus, we give you all the honor and glory. We thank you for every individual that is in this place. We pray for your grace, more of your grace in this department of relationships. We pray, Heavenly Father, that may your mighty hand continue to be upon us as we go to our respective homes. We pray, Father, and we plead your protection. Father, we send forth your angels to be with us as we depart in the name of Jesus Christ. Let everybody say amen. And also announcement, we are having this thing we call the Golden Circle Gentlemen's Club. What we do is we empower brothers in such matters and life in general. So this month of August 8th, we are going to feature women, whereby hopefully leadership will be there so that we can talk more. And the most important thing about the Golden Circle is personal development. We need to create a platform of developing each other, hotspotting each other with resources. If you know you have a great mentor who's really helping you grow, hotspot us with your mentor. Or wait again, I can invite my mentor to a session so that we grow together. You are out there, you are a success. But the way you come from, there are people you could have helped. So let us continue engaging and networking. It is said networking can get you places where a degree is most likely not able to take you. Not that it can't. I give you statements out it can't. But let's network more. Thank you so much for coming through. God bless you.